Planet Dolan.
From having an impromptu strip club to duct taping a child to a TV, the Planet Dolan crew reenacts some of the best true stories from our subreddit about the stupidest things we've done while drunk. I'm Melissa, and today I'll be your narrator. Number 10 was submitted by Nyxilo. Hellbent went to a friend's house for a party one night. During the party, he had a lot to drink. He drank so much that he did a lot of dumb, crazy things. The first was grab his friend's little sister before saying,
"Adore the Explorer guy on the TV,"
before duct taping her to the TV set. He said,
"That's better."
Then he took her hamster while it was still in its ball and threw it out the window, saying,
"Pikachu, I chose you!"
The last thing he did at the party was to take some blue paint and paint their dog blue. Then he said,
"I blew blue. Do you see a clue?"
Number 9 was submitted by sadguyandhamboy. Gergak and his friends were drinking at a party one night when they decided to have a competition. They wanted to see who could take the biggest shit. So they pulled down their pants and took dumps around the house. Toward the end of the competition, one of Gergak's friends picked up a lump of shit and smacked him in the face with it. That started a shit fight, and by the end of the party, almost the entire house, from ceiling to floor, was covered in poop. Number 8 was submitted by JDM469. James Shark and 2 of his friends were walking to another friend's house while drunk. Wanting to get a pack of smokes, James Shark told his friends that he wanted to stop by a store really quickly to buy some. While walking to the store, one of his friends said something about the no shoes, no shirt, no service policy that a business may have, and then asked why there was never anything about no pants. Thinking it was a good point, James Shark decided to take off his pants and go into the store. When he went in, he casually strolled up to the counter and asked the cashier for a pack of smokes. After ringing them up, the cashier told James Shark the total, and he said, "Hold on, my money is in my pants." So he went outside to get his money, and then came back into the store. When he walked back up to the counter, he saw the cashier and another employee talking. The other employee was laughing hard. A few days later, when James Shark returned to the store sober, he noticed that the cashier was looking at him funny. After he asked the cashier why he was looking at him funny, the cashier asked, "You don't remember coming in with no pants on?" James Shark was instantly embarrassed, as he had forgotten about that night because he had been so drunk. Number 7 was submitted by Bubble Nugget 2133. After turning 21, Andy developed a nasty drinking problem. It wouldn't be unusual for her to kill a large bottle of whiskey by herself almost every other night. One time, after a long night of drinking, she woke up naked at the bottom of the stairs in her building. She also noticed a horrible stab wound in her leg. After showering and getting dressed, she called around to see if any of her friends knew what happened. One of them said that Andy had drunk-dialed her in the middle of the night to cuss her out for giving her a shitty knife because she was trying to cut a block of cheese. Later on, her landlord told her that he didn't even see her come out of her loft, and that he never saw her naked and pass out at the bottom of the stairs. To this day, Andy still doesn't know how she came to be naked and outside her loft. Number 6 was submitted by MysticMrsMoonscar. A week before Christmas, Snoopy went to a huge Christmas party some people at her college were going to. While there, she got very drunk, just like everybody else. Then, someone had the genius idea to make it into a strip club. So they ripped the tablecloths off the tables, sending food and dishes everywhere. After undressing, people jumped onto the tables and danced. Snoopy joined them, dancing while wearing a Santa bathing suit and a red hat. Just then, one of the male strippers began to make out with her. Snoopy and the male stripper soon began doing it in front of everyone. She ended up coming home with $3,000 in her wallet, along with a note saying that she had been kicked out of college. Number 5 was submitted by RagsUnderAmysBed. One time, Dolan went out drinking with his friends. 2 loggers later, he got wasted and his friends took him home. As soon as he walked into the front door, Dolan had a sudden urge to take a whiz. So he went upstairs and, instead of going to the bathroom, he walked up to a ladder that went up into the attic and pissed on the floor next to it. At that moment, his mother walked up and screamed, "What the fuck are you doing? Dolan turned around and drunkenly replied, I'm taking a piss. Can't you see? Then his mother yelled, Oh, shit! After that night, Dolan learned his lesson about not pissing next to a ladder while drunk. Number 4 was submitted by Lanae. Around Christmas, when she lived in London, Gooby decided to go to a hockey game with some friends. After the game, they went to a bar where Gooby slammed 50 shots of vodka on a dare. Then, her friends dropped her off at home, where she was living with her 2 roommates at the time. She noticed a present from her brother under the tree and decided to open it. When she did, inside was a pretty rack for her lip gloss that was buried in packing peanuts. She poured the box of packing peanuts onto the kitchen floor and began to make snow angels. Soon after, Gooby began making drunken Snapchat videos with her dogs. Since that day, her old roommates still make fun of her. Unbeknownst to her at the time, one of her roommates woke up and recorded Gooby making snow angels in the kitchen. Number 3 was submitted by GalacticalFlame. Nyxilo once saw his relatives do something funny and stupid while drunk. When his grandma, 2 aunts, and uncle got drunk at a party one time, they decided to play a game where his aunts put toilet plungers between their legs. Then, his grandma and uncle stood at the other end of the living room with toilet paper between their legs. Nyxilo watched as his aunts walked to the other side of the room and tried to put the plunger handles into the toilet paper rolls. Needless to say, Nyxilo and the other kids at the party facepalmed. They had to go outside and try to erase the image from their minds. Number 2 was submitted by Pinkapie. One day, Paprika's boyfriend dumped her. It was so devastating to her that she drank an entire bottle of vodka. Drunk, she wandered into her roommate's bedroom and tried eating her notebook. Wondering what the hell was going on, Paprika's roommate grabbed her, took her to her own bedroom, and locked her inside for an hour. The next morning, when Paprika woke up, she and her roommate ate breakfast in awkward silence. Number 1 was submitted by SillyAaron. About 2 months ago, Sid and his friends were playing Truth or Dare while drunk. When Sid's friend asked, Truth or Dare? He chose Dare. His friend told him to take off his clothes and run around the yard. Thinking nobody would see him, and because he was drunk, Sid took off his clothes and ran around the yard. But then noticed that his neighbors were outside watching him. Super embarrassed, Sid came back inside. Huge! Thanks for the folks over on our Planet Dolan subreddit for submitting their stories. We have another question for you. What's the best thing you've seen someone do for a stranger? Let us know on the Reddit page linked below, and you might be featured in a future countdown. Catch you guys next time!